Okay, so Papua New Guinea is in the news again.
Yeah.
And just last week, actually, the national capital governor, Powes Parkop, he tabled a proposed vagrancy bill in Parliament.
Interesting. A vagrancy bill.
Yeah. And, immediately, it's kind of like one of those things that makes you go,
Right off the bat.
yeah, like, what is that all about?
You get that push and pull right away because it sounds like it's trying to manage something
Yeah.
like homelessness or keeping public order,
All right.
But just the name vagrancy bill, it brings up all this history about personal freedom.
Exactly.
One of those questions.
And the news editorial we've been looking at really hits on that,
Yeah.
this whole balancing act.
Mm.
So in this deep dive, we're going to try to break down what's being reported
Sounds good.
about this bill and why this tension between, potential law and individual rights is such a big deal right from the start.
Absolutely. So looking at this initial report, what jumped out at you the most about how they framed this?
Well, it really sets it up as this question of balance, right?
Yeah.
Governor Parkop is obviously trying to address some kind of problem in the National Capital District,
Well,
probably something to do with people experiencing vagrancy.
right.
But the big concern they bring up is, could this kind of law accidentally end up criminalizing poverty
Oh,
or restricting basic rights,
Mm.
like being able to move around freely?
interesting.
Really makes you wonder what kind of practical challenges a law like this would run into, when they actually try to enforce it.
That's the key question right there.
Yeah.
Historically, laws about vagrancy have been criticized because they often disproportionately affect vulnerable people.
Right.
So if we zoom out and look at the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it makes you think, is a vagrancy bill really the best way or even the fairest way to handle these complex social issues like homelessness?
Absolutely. And the editorial, even though we don't have all the details of the bill yet,
Yeah. Yeah.
it highlights this fundamental challenge.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make laws about homelessness and public order without stepping on people's basic rights?
Yeah.
It's not just about what they're trying to do with the bill.
Right.
It's also about what could happen when they actually put it into practice.
Exactly. And it makes you ask, what exactly is Governor Parkop hoping to achieve with this?
Yeah.
Is it mostly about public safety in cities? Or are there bigger social welfare goals at play here?
Right.
Things that maybe the name vagrancy bill doesn't really cover.
Yeah, it really brings these competing values into focus, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Public order versus individual liberty.
Front and center.
And the editorial seems to be saying,
Mm-hmm.
hey, let's think about these trade-offs really carefully.
Makes sense.
What I find so interesting is that even at this early stage,
Yeah,
the discussion is already all about this fundamental dilemma.
it is.
It really suggests that this is a super complex issue
It does.
with potentially huge social and legal consequences.
Absolutely.
So just to recap, Governor Parkop in Papua New Guinea has proposed this vagrancy bill.
Right.
And the big concern raised in this news report is the potential clash between the aims of the bill. Probably something about dealing with vagrancy and the fundamental rights of individuals.
That's the core issue.
Now, here's a final thought.
Okay.
When governments are thinking about laws that try to tackle social problems, but could also affect personal freedoms,
Hmm.
what are the different perspectives people might have?
Yeah.
How can societies find that balance between wanting public order and needing to protect individual liberties in these situations?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It's a tough balancing act
It is.
with no easy answers, and it's something we need to think about from all sides.
Absolutely.
So that's it for our deep dive today.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
See you later.
Bye.